Good morning, everybody. How are we doing today? Hope y'all are doing fantastic. Wait, hold on. Oh, okay, good. I thought I turned my recording off for a second there. All right, we're good. We're ready to rock and roll. We've got a couple minutes before bell. I was hoping to have a little bit more time, but we'll just kind of cover some of the stuff going on in our report real quick, like. So the biggest thing that we pointed out in the report is we are finally starting to breach into the EMA cloud on our weekly chart. We're also starting to see pressure above our point of control, which of course is where the highest volume has been traded. The other thing that I wanted to point out, or the other thing that I did point out, if we look at kind of an equal measure movement from where everything's lining up, from our low, we're looking at a move upward that's right around where our downtrend is and our 50 moving average on the weekly is. Okay. The logic there, to be explained, is that we look at the last low in our volume spike, right? Because markets move from low volume to high volume to low volume, whether that's backwards or through, that remains to be seen. So we've crossed that 50% kind of threshold plane, and we're going to estimate and kind of guess that that's right about where our highest volume traded is. So using the Fibonacci retracement, we can see that a full move or an equal measure move to the upside is going to bring us to about the same volume place in our spike, as well as where we've got some other lined up areas. So this is all kind of pointing really good for another test of our trend line, test of our moving averages, things like that. Obviously, we know the last time we broke the trend line, it did not end well. We do have CPI coming out tomorrow, which is going to be huge. That's going to, in my opinion, going to either fuel this rally potential break, or it's going to be the death sentence for us moving back down and doing some more rotating back in that balance area that we were stuck in for so long. All right, we've got about 50 seconds before bell. Really just kind of looking in the daily chart, we can see that we've moved through the thin area. So this is going to be something very important for us to watch today, this support resistance line at 389.9 and above, right? We want to see things kind of hang out up here to be bullish and push us towards this high volume node and our 200 on the daily. Okay, cool. Great. We got all that out of the way. So here's where we're at. Here's what we're looking at. Overnight high has jumped a little bit more. We're going to make sure that we mark that off before everything actually opens up. We're up to 392.51. It's about a 25-cent jump from the last time I moved it up. Okay, so opening on a gap up following a previous day close that closed on the highs, things are looking very bullish. So it's going to be very important for us to pay attention to how much corrective activity happens today. We would expect to see some fade just because, gap rules. We are up on a gap. That seems to be the higher odds play. But if sellers just shut off today, if they disappear, if they're nowhere to be found, then we're not going to see that corrective activity. And we may stay on a gap that could potentially be revisited in the future. So let's see what happens here. We've already got some movement upward above the overnight high. We're going to see if price action pulls back down below the close, kind of tests where our moving averages are right out of the gate. We're going to modify our chart a little bit. Sorry, by chart, I mean the one that I'm looking at on my main screen, not the one that you guys can see. Okay. Let's see. What contracts are we going to be looking at? Well, if we do in fact get the fade, it looks like 392s are going to be a good spot for us to jump in for our shorts. So we're going to load those up in case we get an opportunity to play those. Ideally, I don't want to try starting to play the longs until we get our corrective activity. So I guess to start off, we're going to load up the 391s on our call side. Yeah. We're going to start there. Doesn't mean we're going to be putting in any orders anytime soon. All right. I hope everybody's doing great today. Middle of the week, Wednesday. This is our second trading week of 2023. Hope everybody started off their year well, making less mistakes, keeping the ship tighter. And there it is. There's the low below. Low below. Low below? So some hindsight analysis. We are seeing that, shorting the overnight high, trying to play the fade would have been a decent play. We'd be in profit right now. We could probably be protecting it somewhere near our VWAP. It wouldn't be a huge profit if it did reverse like that. But again, when we talk about the high odds plays, right? We're not always going to get them, but more often than not, if we're playing the high odds plays, in theory, we should be winning. And if we make sure that the rest of the chart makes sense, like entering at the overnight high, obviously, if this had taken off quite a bit above the overnight high, then it would have been a little bit silly trying to short the overnight high, at least until we cross back through our open price. Then we could be looking at maybe getting short at that level. So if you did play the fade, if you are short right now, what you're going to be looking for now is if price is able to get back up over the opening price before we kind of enter into the corrective territory for the gap, right? Because if this is as low as it's going to get, you're going to see buyers start to scoop this up without even letting it get down to the previous day high. And that should, in theory, push us back up over the opening price and start getting us closer to where you see the current developing point of control for today. Well, would you look at that? We can give ourselves some trend lines, though, because we still potentially have a short opportunity. Below this trend line is a short opportunity for playing to our gap fill still. Oh, dang it. Let's try to move this up to the open price. There we go. Ooh, we just got an alert. Ooh, EPD price alert. Hope you're paying attention, Bob. So for our long-term portfolio, one of the things that we were looking to, one of the things that we were paying attention to is EPD. It is an energy play, and we're thinking about adding it to our long-term portfolio after doing some research yesterday. So if you guys want to check it out, feel free. I don't think I'm going to jump away from our SPY chart to look at that right now, just because I still see some potential early play here. What did that go down to? 106. We can get within our 20-cent window there. And I'm glad we didn't. So our short opportunity seems a little less opportunistic. Still thinking about pulling that trigger. Price does seem to be struggling to get over the overnight high, and there are sell orders pushing against this buy. But we also haven't seen this turn into a red candle yet. That's a huge buying wave. So a lot of momentum has been pushed upward. Although, I mean, man, the price is right. Oof. No, you know what? We're gonna avoid the short just because we already have determined by our longer look that price activity is bullish. So we're gonna avoid the short up here, and probably a good thing that we did because look, now we've got a higher high. So we are now outside of our opening price, right? We got the lower low and the higher high. Yeah, I guess we can draw a trend line from our bottom. It's going to be pretty ugly though. I mean, that's we've got it there, but don't pay too much attention to that trend line. We're going to be swinging that down, is my guess. So potentially, the next short opportunity we're going to be looking for will be a shortening of the thrust. All right. So that's going to be higher highs that can't seem to really push any momentum. We do have a lot of volume up here right now. This is kind of looking like it's P-ish shaped. So that's not something we want to short yet. We want a higher high on low volume. We want to see it struggling to keep price activity up high for a short. So we're probably going to spin sideways for a bit. I think maybe we'll be looking for a low opportunity to go long at around our opening price point. Maybe. We do seem to be building a support right around our overnight high, though. Yeah, still support right above that point of control. I think we're going to stick with the 391s. We're going to load up 392s into our call side. We had the 391s, but now that this gap hasn't really forced anything, yeah, we're gonna move up to 392. So putting things into perspective, we had a very weak fade on the open. We had a higher high following the fade. Now we're just kind of spinning our wheels sideways a little bit. It's mostly buying, but buyers aren't really generating any force. But we are churning sideways in the top third. So that's bullish. Ticks very positive today. Our weighted advanced decline still on the positive side. Hmm. And it looks like support is still being found at the overnight high, at least for now. So it was a test of VWAP there. It's also the closing price of our opening bar. Wha-bam! Got a little bit of selling activity up here, but you can see in our volume profile, we've skipped up to another level, and we do seem to be adding some volume here. Look at this shelf, just it's starting to grow. So that means we can go ahead and draw a new support line. Let's see, where do we want to draw our trend lines? Trend lines are kind of messy this morning. So we've got our first kind of volume area from the opening price to where we just broke to a new area. This bottom spike kind of seems superfluous. So I think we're going to measure our current trend from well, you know what? Let's see what this looks like. Oh, looks like it could not maintain that break. Do we want to go short? Try and play to some balance? Hmm. I'm having a little trouble reading everything today. All right, let's do this. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything popping out yet as a discernible pattern or weakness or whatnot. Just the generated information this morning is a little perplexing to me. So I guess it does look like it wasn't able to hold activity in that upper shelf that it was trying to. But we're still above VWAP. It doesn't seem like it's really pushing back into the higher volume area below either. So, I mean, if it can't rotate to that POC, it's going to rotate up. Oh, what's our volume today like? Oh, kind of low volume today. We're a little over 15 minutes in, and we're just barely over 5.5 mil. I guess that is to be expected, though. CPI's tomorrow. I do like how our channel's drawn. Again, like I was saying, that lower spike really does seem superfluous. It just it made an attempt and it was very quickly decided against. And our other support resistance lines seem like they're starting to develop accurately as well. So the trend line that I have drawn kind of through our channel, we can look at that as kind of a measurement of strength and weakness of this channel. If it starts to put some more volume up above this trend line, that's good for the bullish activity. If it starts to put more volume in under that trend line, then it's probably going to be telling us we're going to break this channel either before or leading up to the 1030 correction. Oh, we might be going short here. I'm going to keep watching for now because we have seen buying every time it's gotten to this point so far. Obviously, the most ideal place to be short for a break would be up at the topmost resistance. But we might not get another opportunity. VWAP's gotten tested a few times. Decent selling wave, but isn't really pushing as far as you'd want it to see. As far as you'd want it to see. It's not pushing as far as we would believe it to go if sellers were starting to build an upper hand. That's what we meant. Delayed data. Oh boy. What's going on? Interesting. My data's delayed on my main screen, but it's not delayed on what you guys are seeing. Oh no, did my main computer just freeze? I'm not running anything else. Oh my god. Hold, please. What a crappy time to freeze up. Yeah, it froze. Cool. Awesome. Potentially going to miss out on a play. I suppose the good news is the stream's still going because it's on a different computer. But this is why I've had to do it this way, guys, and this is why you don't get to see my main display. Yeah, I don't know what happened. It's actually been quite a long time since we had a freeze up like that. Yep, look, our channel broke. Oh man. What the hell? That's obnoxious. Yeah, there was our short play. Well, hopefully those of you who are hanging out watching, you took advantage of what I could not. If you are playing it short, just be careful, right? Because we did see a rather aggressive pushback at these lows, so just watch for that. Consider taking a little bit of profits. All right, we're almost back in. Looks like we'll make it back just in time to do absolutely nothing about the activity that just happened. And of course, because this happened, I'm going to have to sit on my hands for a minute and make sure I am emotionally stable enough to keep playing. It may not be showing in my voice too much, but I am actually very frustrated. The only thing more aggravating than missing a good play that you called is missing a good play that you called because your equipment malfunctions. Okay, we are officially back in and looking. Well, if we get a pull up towards the 20, that's potentially going to be our short opportunity, playing off of the EMA crossover. But of course, we do have to take into consideration our higher low. So in theory, we are still looking bullish in the long term. Ugh. And that's potentially our channel that we're looking at now. Actually, I think we can draw a reversion channel here. Let's see. Regression channel. That's what I meant. No. How do I draw this? I think I draw it from the low to the high. Let's try that. No, that doesn't do it either. What in the world? How are... I can't. Okay. Yep, that doesn't work. We're just going to do a regular channel and we'll draw a second one. That's what we'll do. Boom. And here's our second one. Okay. So potentially we still have this upward channel going on. But we've now got two kind of distinct channels that have formed. The majority of our trading volume so far has kind of kept itself to that upper channel. We can see that the dips below, or at least the first dip below, was aggressively pushed back, long wicks. This one started with an aggressive pushback and some long wicks, but it's not looking like that anymore. We definitely could have played a short off of our VWAP there. Would have been the best risk to reward location for trying to enter into the position after we missed the first move and break of that channel. Looks like this pivot is acting as a slight support. So if we are to believe this channel, that push back into it is great for bulls. And that tells us we should be getting long. I don't think I'm going to take that play, though. Maybe. I mean, entering here is not terrible, right? Because we could just bail out if it gets back below that channel line. But we're just strictly thinking risk reward. Does it make sense from a technical standpoint? Oh, geez, I don't even have my correct contracts loaded up anymore because everything froze. Oh, well, yeah, we're definitely not playing it. Okay, I think we had 392s. That sounds about right. There we go. One in the money, both sides. We'll stick to that. All right, B period starting. Bum. 113, 27, 126. That's not a bad price. Of course, we can't get it for that price now because it's up in the 130s. Wow, even that push down really didn't give us the better price. That's volatility for you. It's getting closer. May have just missed it. Yeah, back at 130. Had 121 for a second there. Although, I need to ask myself, is that catching a falling knife? Am I trying to guess a bottom? I mean, we've crossed over our EMAs. In theory, we shouldn't be looking for a long right now, just based on some of our other technical indicators. Man, that couldn't even suppress the price. Interesting. So, all right, let's kind of analyze the buying that's been happening right here. Okay. So look at where that big candle started. That's right about where we had that ignition from this morning. So there were still some orders trapped on the buy side down here. So that absolutely tells us that there is a supply zone. Okay. So let's go ahead and mark that. Because as soon as we retouched that, we had another ignition candle, right? So we know there's a supply zone down here. Sorry, a demand zone. Why am I saying supply? I'm just thinking like, oh, there's supply to buy. No, it's a demand zone. Let's see. What's our volume profile looking like? I mean, we're below. There's still a lot of things telling us that grabbing a long here is not a terrible idea either. Probably should have bought it back below value though on that last wick. I mean, up here is kind of asking for trouble because we would have to let it run a little bit to know if we were right or wrong. Keeps teasing me with the price that I want. Yeah. Got to get our headspace straight, guys. By we, I mean me. Got a pretty normal looking distribution curve today. Got some teasing over VWAP, threatening a crossover of the EMAs, potential old support back in play. Ugh, I hate buying so close to a high volume node. Small buying wave producing big results. And EMA crossover. All right, this is where we would expect to see a little resistance. Are they going to crush through it? Is this our new ignition candle to be paying attention to? Oh, that happened a little too quick. We'll test to the 20. Jesus. Yeah, volume's still incredibly low today. NQs, ES, moving up. No time spent in negative ticks yet today. Weighted advanced decline's been dancing a little bit. Not really moving up or down. Although it's on the positive side. So our internals look bullish. Ooh, nice flat top on our volume now. It's getting fat. So it does seem to say to us that we need to rotate higher to find some thinner volume. I don't want to pay this price, though. I don't like it. Man, that might have been a really good price, though. 147. Hmm. Interesting. Back through the VWAP, down to our point of control. Something's screaming at me to buy this POC. Why is my brain telling me to buy this POC? Shut up, brain. Hmm. It was telling me to buy it because there was a support there. If nothing else, could have made 10 cents. Been in a good position if this is the play. EMA is crossing over again. Do I want to go short here? No. Refusal to break out of the channel. Rising support. No, should have bought the support. Good risk to reward. Bullish activity. Yeah. We're getting some push back and forth across the POC now. Yeah. I'm all over the place today, guys. This actually is probably not going to be a super good video. I don't feel like I really gave good information today. I also don't feel like I got good information today. The only play that we really could conceivably say that we saw and were ready to play was that first channel break, but of course everything freaking froze when that happened. Maybe we can grab long under this value. At least it'll be good risk to reward. Yeah. see if we can get in. Okay. 13. So we finally got into a long position, mostly just because things have kind of been balancing between these value areas. And it also allowed us to get a decent price for our longs and put a stop in a pretty safe place without going beyond our metrics. Cool. We're going to set a stop order to take a piece here. At least that way, then it should position us so that way if we do get stopped out at our stop, we'll still take good profit. Okay. Didn't get quite as much for it as I wanted. Probably should have sold it at 4.3 instead of setting our stop for 4.0, because we actually got stopped out a couple cents below that. So we didn't take 20 cents on the position, which if we had taken 20 cents on the position, then our stop out would have just broke even. So if we do get stopped out of this play, we are going to be a little red. And then I think at that point, we'll probably call it a day, because clearly I just am not going to play well today if I keep going. Thought about selling another piece there. Could also add to the position if it goes low but doesn't break our threshold. What's our volume on the day looking like? Yeah, just kind of split in the middle. Although internals are looking like they're starting to shift red. Maybe we are going to get a gap correction, but it's going to be the 1030 correction. That's almost telling me that I want to get out, but we got 9 minutes. A lot of that green ignition candle's just been chewed up now. So we can safely say there are no buy orders trapped in there anymore. That's another big ignition candle. Yes, okay. We're going to protect this at the point at which if this flips all the way around, we'll just break even completely on the play. Because, I mean, if it breaks the resistance here, that'd be great. And then we don't have to worry about that. But I think for safety's sake and playing smart, this is the right decision. Yeah, we're only going to have one piece of the play left. So if this really runs, it's, going to leave us with a muted profit. But it's also going to protect us from losing today. And then we can just kind of wrap up our day with a little bit of green and just be glad that we got out of this mess and whatnot. All right. Cool. So, no matter what, we'll finish today with a little bit of green. I mean, if we do break the high on today, we still potentially could make our goal profit today. Let's see, where do we need this to go to hit our goal? We're currently 54 cents up, but that's with this one piece being worth 20 cents. So we're 30 cents up. And if this breaks us out, then we're only going to be 10 cents up. But I digress. So we need a $1.70 to hit our goal, which means 70, 270. Wow. That's quite a tall order. Now, it's not going to reflect accurately because, we don't have the volatility in play. Actually, we can look at our trade chart and that'll give us a better idea. Okay, so we need to move almost $2 more up to hit our profit target today. So 394.50 is probably what we're looking at, which is a pivot point. Okay, that's not in the realm of impossibility. I mean, we do have to break two resistances and just kind of float after that, but yeah, At the end of the day, a win's a win, right? So starting to get to the upside of value. Based on what we've been seeing so far, if we were just strictly trying to play a balanced play, this is where we would be looking to sell. But that is neither here nor there. We have our target. But at this point now, I'm not going to let it go all the way to the stop. It'd just be silly. I mean, it's all the way up here. We may as well take more profit if this fails to keep moving. Pretty decent sized wave forming. Hopefully that momentum carries. So we are about to hit that 1030. I'm hoping we get a massive buy as opposed to a massive dump. All right, 30 seconds. Here it comes. Potentially getting ready to just flatten this and take the profit we can. "15 seconds. Does seem to be slightly less excitement about buying up here. We're in our C period now. Got a really awkward stacked high. That same thin spot from earlier this morning. But it just doesn't seem like it can push up into that shelf. And the rotation down. Let's see if VWAP holds or if we're going to rotate around it again. So I guess maybe this support line here at 392.4 will be our dump. All right. Either we find support or... I mean, with the way the top is developed, it makes you think that we're going to have more upward potential today. But, when's that going to happen? Is it going to be at 2 o'clock? Because then we're going to lose a lot of intrinsic value. And that's only if it happens. I mean, granted, we are playing the 392s, so we're in the money. Yeah, this is just a crappy day to trade. Kudos and congratulations to those of you who have made a decent profit, or at least just made some profit today. Whoa, well, that happened quicker than we could react. So, two potential scenarios for that. That was a stop hunt, and now we're going to move up pretty aggressively. Or that was the start of an actual down move, which that looks like it might be the case. Jesus. Well, like I said, even if it hits our stop loss, we're still going to end with a little bit of profit today. But that whole candle, that happened a little bit quicker than we could do anything meaningful about. Still, everything's inside so far, right? I mean, our A period low, B period low, now C period low. Are these all inside bars? No. Goodbye. Okay. All right. Well, like I said, we're finishing today with 10 cents. And of course, as we can see, our demand zone, potentially a good spot to jump in. Potentially. Doesn't mean we want to, because now we've got a poor low. So that starts to scream more and more like we're going to get the gap fill finally. Yeah, I'm not going to get long here. Not going to do it. It's not going to happen. But I am going to shut it down. I don't feel like I'm making the best decisions. I don't feel like I'm seeing this market activity well. And I also feel like this market activity is kind of poop. So I'm making the executive decision. We're done trading. We're up 10 cents and we're going to call it a day. So thank you so much for joining me today, guys. I will catch you on the flip side. Have a good one.